dear students and viewers. On our previous lesson, we looked at the movement of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the lungs and what happens to the muscles associated with lungs. We will continue to learn more of our interesting topic on gaseous exchange, but in order to understand today's lesson, we will first need to highlight the parts of the respiratory system in humans. My name is Nashiat Shaban Salum from the State University of Zanzibar TV, SUZA TV. Dear students, air enters the respiratory system at the mouth or nose, then travels through the system of pharynx, trachea, bronchus and bronchioles, and finally reaches the lungs. Inside the lungs, from the bronchioles, air enters the hollow cavity or sacs called the alveoli. In the alveoli, singular alveolus, this is where the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide takes place. So in our lesson today, we are going to discuss the structure, the function, and the adaptation of the alveoli to its function. The alveoli are very tiny in size, and many millions of them are packed together within the lungs. They somewhat resemble clusters of grapes. The basic function of the alveoli is exchange of gases. In order for the gas exchange to occur across the alveoli has many features that adapt to their function. So let's discuss them. First, there is huge number of them. This is to increase the surface area and allow the efficient and fast exchange of gases between the blood and the lungs. Second, the alveoli are surrounded by many blood capillaries. This means that more air can be exchanged in a given amount of time and make the efficient exchange of gases across the alveoli. Third, both the wall of the alveoli and the blood vessels are made up of a single layer of cells. This helps in decreasing the distance where the gases have to diffuse and allowing a faster exchange of gases. In other words, we can say that is the point where the gas-blood barrier is very thin to allow the rapid gas exchange. Since the gases are transported in solution form, some of these cells in the alveoli produce moist substances that allow gases to dissolve and also prevent the alveoli from sticking together. Apart from being the site of gaseous exchange, the alveoli play the most important function of filtration. When you inhale in, many gases enter your lungs, but the alveoli allow only oxygen to diffuse in the bloodstream in order to flow in all parts of the body, and also separate out carbon dioxide and remove it out of your body. Therefore, the alveoli have a very important function in your respiratory system. Without them, the air we breathe in would be useless to us. We will not separate and transfer the oxygen to all over our bodies, and hence the life will cease to exist. We'll stop here for today. As a reminder, today we have discussed about the structure, function, and the adaptation of the alveoli to their function. We will meet next time in the second part of this lesson. Thank you for watching and see you again very soon. Hello again, we are moving on with our topic of gaseous exchange. Let me remind you that in the previous lesson we started looking at the structure and functions of the alveoli. Today we will continue with the mechanisms of gaseous exchange across the alveoli. But before I proceed, my name is Nashiat Shaban Salum from SUZA TV. Now let's begin, or more like continue our lesson. The alveolus begin to function when we breathe in air through our nose or mouth. During the gas exchange in the alveolus, no energy is used by the cell. The gases move by the means of diffusion process. By definition, diffusion is the movement of molecules from a region of high concentration to a region of low concentration. This means that in order for the gas exchange to occur, there must be a difference in concentration of air, oxygen, and carbon dioxide between the alveolus and the blood. Now let's take a single alveolus and see how the oxygen and carbon dioxide exchange between the alveolar membrane and the blood vessels. When we breathe in, air enters the alveolus. This causes a higher concentration of oxygen in the alveolus than in the blood. Therefore, oxygen will diffuse to the blood vessels where there is low concentration of oxygen. In the blood, oxygen binds to the hemoglobin and forms oxyhemoglobin. Hemoglobin is the substance in the red blood cell which transports oxygen from the alveoli to the body's tissues and returns carbon dioxide from the tissues to the alveoli, where it is removed out of the body. When it reaches the tissues, the oxyhemoglobin breaks and the oxygen is released to the tissue, where it is used in metabolic processes like respiration. The process of metabolism leads to the production of carbon dioxide. On the other side, in the tissues, there is higher concentration of carbon dioxide than oxygen. Therefore, carbon dioxide will diffuse to the blood vessels and combine with hemoglobin to form carbaminohemoglobin. And then carbon dioxide is returned to the alveoli. The blood that flows back to the alveoli is rich in carbon dioxide. Therefore, the gas will diffuse to the alveoli and then transported through the system of trachea to the nose or mouth and finally outside our bodies. Remember that the diffusion will not take place if there is the same concentration of gases between the alveoli and the blood, and this will result to death of living organisms. Let's take a look at another video. As we have discussed before that, the air is breathed in and get into the cell. The gas exchange takes place and the air is breathed out again. For that reason, the composition of inhaled air will be different from that of the exhaled air. See the following table on your screen. From this table, we see that not all the oxygen we breathe in is used in the body. Some amount of oxygen is exhaled along with carbon dioxide. You will also wonder, how is it possible that the carbon dioxide we remove out is more compared to the percentage we breathe in? This is because the more carbon dioxide that is removed is the result from the cell metabolism. Our lesson stops here for today. I hope you have understood the lesson and I'm looking forward to our next lesson. I also hope that this lesson will help adding your knowledge of biology and that you will be able to score good marks in your exam. Let's meet next time and thanks for watching.